Hey friends, welcome back to my channel, and for those of you who are new here, hi, I'm Amy and this is Thrift Adventure. I'm a full-time reseller primarily on the Poshmark app. Today I have another ship with me video. Today is Tuesday, March 11th, and these are sales from over the weekend. I was out of town for a couple of days doing some thrifting with a friend and we had a really great time. I did get some thrift footage and I'm really hoping to make a thrift video for you, but I've been saying that a lot and I haven't put out very many. So hopefully one of these days I'll get them all edited and you guys will have a bunch of thrift shopping videos to enjoy. So the good news is I have quite a few sales going out. The bad news is that quite a few of them are lower dollar sales, but that is just fine. It is the summer of sales and I am looking to accept reasonable offers and move through some stale inventory. So the first item that sold is this really cute, dainty little ring. This is a man-made opal and faux little peridot stones. And it is set in, I believe, either gold tone or gold plated metal. It's not solid gold. It sold for $23. I grabbed it when I was in kind of a rush at an estate sale thinking that it might be a genuine ring. So I only paid about $3 for it. After posh fees and my cost of goods, that made my profit $15.40. That did take a good bit of time to sell, probably 6 to 8 months, but that's just fine. I believe the buyer made me an offer on that. The next item is this pretty little faux turquoise and silver tone, not genuine sterling silver necklace and chain. This was another thing I grabbed at an estate sale thinking it might be real silver and turquoise, and it did not end up being such. It sold for $17. I believe this had discounted shipping. Did I just say I paid about $3 for it? So that made my profit $7.62. Not really the kind of sale I am looking to have, but you know, $7.62 is still a profit. And sometimes when I have people come in and help me here and there do photographs, I will give them some of these lower priced items. And so even if I'm paying them like minimum wage and they get 10 items photographed, edited, and uploaded for me in an hour, it still makes it worth it even if they're these lower dollar items, because I'll have some bread and butter items listed that I am not having to list myself. Now, I don't really hire people very often. Usually it's just when a friend, a family member, or someone I know is short on cash or they've gotten laid off and I know that they could use a little bit extra money and I could use help. So I'll just, you know, kind of hire people here and there. I wish that I could get organized to do it more often, but it's just hard for me to, I guess, let go and get organized. Okay, the next sale, not great at all, but it's this little pair of beaded clip-on earrings, probably from the 1950s or 60s. These are an item for sure that I had someone else list for me because I just wouldn't have taken the time to list them myself because I knew they wouldn't sell for very much. And sure thing, they sold for $10. But I got these in like a little grab bag of jewelry. Every now and again, I will grab those to see if there is maybe a little hidden treasure in there, and typically there is. So I paid less than $1 for these, and that made my profit $6.05. For the remainder of the video, when I talk about my profit, you can assume that I'm taking out my cost of goods, any shipping discounts, and any website fees. These took a while to sell, over a year. So definitely not a good pickup. Not really the kind of thing that I want to be buying and selling. But, you know, I say this over and over again, a sale is a sale and it all adds up. You know, I've got, I don't know, 8 or 10 sales today. And even if, you know, some are $7 or $10 profit, it's still, you know, it still pays for groceries and whatever bills I have. Okay, so the next item is this vintage snakeskin belt. It is genuine snakeskin, and it's kind of a peachy pink color. It's not in the greatest condition, but I didn't realize that when I grabbed it. And I thought the color was kind of unique, so that's why I decided to list it. It ended up selling for $15. The buyer made me an offer on this, and it had been listed for a fair bit of time. Their offer was, I think, maybe about 50% off of what I had it listed for. But because it had been listed a while, and it is the summer of sales again, it's not quite summer, but I'm saying it is. I'm, accepting offers on things that have been sitting around for a while. I paid about $3 for this, so that made my profit $9. Don't go anywhere. I promise you there are a couple better sales coming up. So more exciting sales for sure coming. Okay, so the next item sold on Cherish.com. And for those of you who are unfamiliar with Cherish, I have the Cherish Seller's Guide linked in the description box below, and it tells you everything you could want to know about selling on Cherish. Okay, so these are a pair of vintage Ronson gas candles. So they're like flameless candles. And I just thought they were really cool, mid-century modern. They're like metal, and then they have these little candle holders. And I liked that it was new in the box. It has all the paperwork, everything. I just thought it was a really cool piece of history. These ended up selling for $84, which I am pretty happy about. They did take, I would say, 8 months to a year to sell, so a fair amount of time for that $84, but I only paid about $5 for them, so that made my profit $61.62. I am really happy with that, and I will package those up off camera. I'm going to add a little bit extra padding inside the box so that they don't move around. Okay, the next item that sold is this vintage snakeskin little handbag clutch. I just love this. I think it's so gorgeous. And, whenever I get these and list them, they typically end up selling for less than I want, honestly. I was going to see if I could tuck that strap inside, but it doesn't. But I still pick them up when I can find them for an affordable price. And I was at an estate sale, and they had a bin full of vintage purses, and they were only $1 a piece. So I just couldn't resist. I did have this listed for a higher amount, but a buyer offered me $35, and I decided to accept it because that's a realistic price for this type of bag. Maybe I could have, held out and found the right buyer, or I should have got this listed on Cherish, because potentially I could sell it for a higher price on Cherish. But I will be working on cross-listing my vintage bags and jewelry over there to hopefully, achieve some higher prices. So that made my profit $27. This, I think, took, about 6 months to sell, so not a terribly long time, maybe a little bit longer, I'm not exactly certain. The next sale is a pretty great sale, and it was pretty quick too. So it is this pair of cowboy boots. They are genuine leather. They have this really great stud detail. They do have some distressing, but I liked how they were short and they had the stud detail. They're in pretty good condition. I picked these up, and I could not find a brand or figure out using Google Lens or anything like that. They did look like a couple of different brands, but I could not confirm that. So I put that they were vintage style because I don't think these are genuine vintage, and I listed them under the vintage brand. And then I don't typically like to do this, but in the description I did put that they had similar style to the brands that they resembled. But I was very clear that I couldn't find a brand name on them, and I didn't know for sure. So hopefully this person knew what brand they were, or I assume they did because they sold for $71 relatively quickly. It's possible that this had discounted shipping on it too. I think it did. I paid $10 for these, and I listed these as part of my 100 item listing challenge that I just did about 2 weeks ago. So that made my profit $43.82. So when I say I don't like to use brand names that don't apply to the item, I mean, I never am going to intentionally spam a listing with an invalid, style tag or brand name that does not apply to the item. These, I genuinely did not know the brand, and I thought it was possible that they were either Corral or there was another brand, and I can't think of what it was, just by the quality and the look of them. And so I felt like it was okay to put it in the description, not in the title or not in the brand name, because I didn't know for sure. What do you guys think about that? I think it's harmless as long as I am very clear that I don't know for sure that that's the brand. Okay, the next item that sold is this Y2K Coach bag. This is a consignment piece that I have had for a consignor for over a year. And I sold one of her bags a week or two ago, the sack bag. And the first time she consigned stuff, she brought me really good stuff, a couple of Burberry bags. And then the next time she came, she had some Coach and that sack brand. And I accepted the consignments, but told her, that the pieces that she brought in weren't as good as before, and they may not sell quickly, and they did not. But this did end up selling for $45. I originally had it listed as a set with the matching wallet, and I've decided from here on out that I won't be listing sets of items together. I will just list them separately and put in each of the listings that I have the matching item available in a separate listing, and that they can bundle for shipping discounts. Because it doesn't seem like people want to buy matching sets very often. And when they do, they want it for a really cheap price. It almost seems like it lessens the value somehow. I don't know. But as soon as I separated these, the wallet sold relatively quickly. It's been a couple of months since I did that, and then this sold. But I was getting offers for both pieces for less than I sold each individual piece for. So someone had offered me $30 for this and the wallet before I separated them. And once I started getting those really low offers, then I just deleted the listing and listed them separate. Let me know, do you guys have luck selling matching sets together? I have never really had luck doing that. Okay, so for my consigners, I do a 50-50 split after website fees. So that made my cost of goods $18 and my profit $18. So my consignor will get $18, which really isn't that great for a Coach purse, but a lot of Coach purses just don't sell as well as they used to, or retain as much of their value because Coach sells a lot of outlet bags. Okay, the next item is another Coach bag, and this is going to one of you guys. So thank you so much, Liliana. I shared this in one of my recent Ship With Me videos that I added a thrift haul onto the end. And I mentioned that I wasn't going to list it because it was so, quite worn and distressed. and she said she was still interested in it. So I listed it for her and gave her what I thought was a good deal. So it sold for $25. Now, one of you mentioned that you've had luck putting these Coach fabric bags in the washing machine, and I haven't put it in the washing machine, but I have cleaned this signature fabric before, just using like a toothbrush and some Dawn dish soap in the kitchen sink. But this one, although it does have dirty marks, this around the edge here, that's wear, and so it's, you know, washing it isn't going to make a difference. But there's still life left in it, and some people, you know, don't mind rocking a bag that's a little well-worn and distressed. In fact, it's even, you know, kind of trendy to have kind of well-worn stuff. And I was watching something, I don't remember if it was Instagram or YouTube, where they were talking about using keywords like distressed and thrashed to describe certain pieces like jeans and Carhartt jackets, some sweatshirts, that people are looking for thrashed items that look like they are worn out. I don't know what all the details of, you know, that kind of niche are. But I do definitely, even if I find a well-worn pair of jeans or jacket, I will, you know, look into the brand a little bit and use keywords like distressed and thrashed to see if I should pick it up. Or if it's only $1, just pick it up and then donate it if it's not, you know, a good find. Okay, so this sold for $25. My cost of goods from that fill the bag sale, I forgot to figure it out, but it was about $5 per item. So that made my profit $15 on this. And I really always appreciate it when you guys support me and my channel. It just means so much to me. You know, I put a lot of hard work and my heart and soul into my business, and so it's great to feel supported. I did want to talk a little bit about something that's going on in the reseller community, and I'm kind of going to tread lightly. It has to do with Nicole State. She has, you know, gone through her trials and tribulations many times in this business, and this isn't, what I want to talk about isn't specifically about her, but it is in relation to some things that she has done and allegedly, and things that have happened to her over the years. She has gotten banned or kicked off multiple platforms, including eBay and whatnot most recently. And while I don't know all of the specific details of why she was kicked off these platforms, what I want to say is that just because someone posts on social media, on YouTube, just because they seem like a genuine person or honest, good person in, you know, online, doesn't mean that they are. And just because they make mistakes doesn't mean that they are a bad person. But you never know when someone's mental health may come into play. And this, again, is not specifically about Nicole, but, you know, maybe someone falls into a drug habit or addiction, falls on hard times and needs extra money. Just be cautious when you are sending someone money or purchasing from them if you feel uncomfortable or if they have shown themselves to be a dishonest person in the past. It's sad, but a lot of people will take advantage of others online through social media. And I just want to, you know, warn you guys to be cautious and not take everything that someone says online as truth or fact, because we're just people. And I've said this before about myself. I make mistakes all the time, and I do research, and I think that I have identified something and researched it sufficiently, and then find out later that my research yielded incorrect results. So I may tell you something and find out later that it is not what I thought it was. And I do try and share that when I learn that I've made a mistake. And some people will intentionally give you misinformation, or I've heard that there are some people on the Posh shows and whatnot selling fake designer handbags and claiming that they are real. So just because they're there claiming to sell hundreds of thousands of dollars, still do your due diligence. If you buy a designer item, still have it authenticated after the fact, or try and have things authenticated prior to purchasing them, because not everyone is honest, and we are in a strange time in the world and the economy. And you know, there may be more people doing dishonest things just to get by, which is really sad. Nobody wants to have to do that, but some people do. There are some bad people out there. Anyways, I just wanted to kind of address that. If you hadn't already heard, you know, that she had been released from Whatnot, and there is rumblings of other dishonest people on all platforms. So just be cautious and do your own research, do your own due diligence to protect yourself. Don't go anywhere. This video will continue with what else I sell this week. Hopefully I have some more big high dollar sales like I did last week. I'll be right back. Hey again, it's Saturday, and to be honest, it's been a pretty slow week, but like I said, I kind of crashed and burned after that 100 item listing challenge, and I haven't been listing. I think maybe I've listed 5 things this week. So there you go. If you need proof that listing can equal sales, of course you need to list quality in demand items. But when I was listing, my sales did increase and my activity definitely increased. So I need to listen to myself and get back to listing. The good news is I do have 3 sales to ship out today, and one of them is a pretty great sale. It is this pair of Nike sneakers, and they are pony hair with different animal prints on them. I actually picked these up on Poshmark. So I was searching for the perfect pair of leopard print sneakers, and this person had just listed these, and they didn't have them listed under the brand Nike. They didn't have Nike in the title. They just had, what did it say? Women's leopard print sneakers. These sold for $140. So the person listed them for $15. I just bought them outright because I thought they were really cute. Turned out that they are not women's, and they are a desirable limited edition style. So they were too big for me because they are a men's size 8.5. And one tip that I found out to distinguish men's from women's, if they don't say on the interior tab, if you look at the US size said 8.5, but the UK size said 7.5, and the Euro size said 42. So if you translate both of those, you know, the UK and the European size, it tells you that it is a men's shoe, men's sizing. I think they did make this shoe in both men's and women's. But these were definitely men's. And I did put all of that information in the listing so people could see, you know, how the size translated. Anyways, these did take up a little bit to sell. I had them and thought, oh, maybe I'll put inserts in them or something, because I just thought they were so cute, but they were just too big. And I think that they probably took about 6 months to sell. And like I said, they sold for $140. I did have them listed at $189. I paid $15 plus tax and shipping for a total of $25. So that made my profit $87. I am thrilled with that, especially for, you know, an item that I picked up on Poshmark and resold on Poshmark. Every now and again, you can find great deals if you want to search for them. The next item that sold is this pair of sandals by Pons. And these are in excellent condition. I picked them up at an estate sale just because they looked like something, you know, that you would find in a little luxury boutique. And they looked handmade, and they were in excellent condition, and they were only $5. These didn't take too long to sell, maybe a month or two, and they sold for $40. Like I said, I only paid $5 for them at an estate sale. So that made my profit $27. I'm thrilled with that. Nice, you know, pretty quick flip and a decent profit. Very easy to list, store, and ship. I've been doing pretty good with shoes lately. I feel like I've been selling more shoes. The next item is this really great vintage handbag. I've had this for years, and I was just kind of holding on to it because it's so cool and unique, but I never reached for it, so I decided to sell it. And it's been listed quite a while, but it's because I wasn't willing to sell it for a low price. It sold for $72, but I don't know if you can even see, but it has some marks here and some indents, some scratches. You know, I mean, it is from the 1960s, so wow, what is that, 60 plus years old now? So it's, you know, inevitable that a piece like this would have some signs of wear. I think I had it listed for $89 or $99. I got all sorts of lowball offers, but I just decided that I'd rather keep it than sell it for a low amount. And I felt like this $72 offer that this person made me was reasonable. Like I said, I've had this for years. Before I even listed it, you know, I was just kind of hanging on to it. I think I paid about $8 for it at an estate sale. So that made my profit $49.60. I'm happy with that, and hopefully the buyer really appreciates, you know, the age and style of this. I just think it is so special and cool. I did get a comment on one of my last videos, the video where I had a really slow sales week, and the person mentioned that she was concerned, or she felt like she appreciated me sharing my slow sales, but she thought that people would watch my video and make me lowball offers because I'm saying that I had slow sales. And I do get lowball offers periodically. I don't know if I would say consistently I do, or as a result of videos showing slow sales, but number one, I'm willing to do that to share with you guys the reality of reselling. Just, you know, I think with how competitive reselling is getting, and I just think it's important to share what, you know, what the real deal is about being self-employed and as a reseller. I'm not always motivated. I'm not always consistent. And so my sales reflect that. So that's number one. Number two is people can make me lowball offers all they want, but the good news is I only have to accept offers that make sense for my business. And I have planned really well so that I don't get to a point where I am desperate to accept lowball offers. You know, sometimes I want to have sales to share with you guys on here, so I will accept lower offers, or if it's a stale item, I will accept a lower offer on it. But don't confuse me having slow sales with being desperate for cash. I definitely plan and save, and I have other areas of my business that can lift me up that I don't share on here. So I don't think many of you would make lowball offers. I think most of you are here to support me, and you would buy something from me to support me and help me out. So I just thought that was kind of an interesting comment and thought process. And while it could be true, I'm not going to stop sharing, you know, the good, the bad, the amazing, and the ugly on here with you. Okay, so that is it for this week. Like I said, not the greatest week. My total sales for the week were $577. My total cost of goods was $84, and my total profit after website fees, cost of goods, and any shipping discounts was $367.11. Very far away from my $1,000 profit goal, but that just goes to show you that I need to work harder than I am, and I am in fact not working very hard. So this is a result of that. I sold a total of 12 items, making my average sales price $48.08. I think that is still a great number. Made my average cost of goods $7, and my average profit per sale $30.60. I still think those are all great statistics. A lot of people aim to have, you know, a $20, $28 average sale price, and mine was $48.08. So I think that's really great. I'm going to focus on the positive and focus on getting back on track to listing and realizing that I can't just sit around and not list. I'll try and get some footage of T-Bird or Millie or something to make the video a little bit longer, but if not, thank you guys all so much for your continued support. I just appreciate you so much and this little community that we have built together. I just think it's so fun to interact with you guys. So thank you again. If you haven't already subscribed, I would love it if you would subscribe. That way you don't miss any of my future uploads. And give this video a thumbs up. It really means a lot to me, and it tells the YouTube algorithm that people like my videos, and so it suggests them to more people and helps my channel grow. All right, see you guys all again next week. Thanks so much. What do you got, T-Bird? Is that good? We call this her Bob Ross.